I'm honestly more impressed what revealing an FTK sort of strategy can actually do to the market. You guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more on this. You know what's crazy to me? We just talked about Majespecter Draco yesterday in a showcase for a loop that we can't even actually do. And it's kind of crazy to me to see that, you know, players are going about this. But this card has a very nice line of text down here. It says, if a monster or monsters is distributed while this card is on your field, detach material from this card, special summon a level 6 or lower wind spellcaster from your deck. This is basically you're bringing out these Droll Lockbirds and you're like able to bounce one back to your hand, do like a Durandal sort of wipe away from the opponent, strip their hand away. It's all off of one card. Now imagine what happens when you start to inject other potential combo cards into this. But right now, this card got wiped off the market actually 2 days ago. So a day before I posted that video, this actually ended up getting massively just destroyed. Now, I'm assuming that this is because there just was not a lot of these on the market. I mean, this was a $12 QCR for most of its life. And honestly, the fact that you can actually make this and then get out wind spellcaster monsters while you're basically doing the whole shuffle through the ritual combo is actually kind of crazy good. So I guess this is what happens when you make generic monster access for these sorts of things. Now, of course, the TCG version, we can't use Shamoji, but this is the guy that ends up setting the condition at the start of the opponent's next standby phase that each player gets to draw a card. I love just watching this little guy do his thing, but he's a cute little guy. I mean, he definitely has some interactions here. And I see somebody picked up a good chunk of these, but if you were to want to build that into the current deck, to, you know, want to try this out, I mean, this is the best trigger for that little extra that you're going for. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, I did talk about the Blackluster Soldier, the Soldier of Chaos. Basically, these are low quantities kind of across the board. And the reason for this is a little bit interesting, honestly. One, this card never got what I would consider a widely good reprint. It was just a card that was like, hey, you know, we'll reprint in higher rarity. I think it got a Pharaoh's Rare somewhere around the way, which was incredibly stupid, but your ultimate rare for this, which was, by the way, the cheapest copy of this that you could pick up for a very, very long time. And see, $33, $38 on up to $40. Even you shatter 54 down here. Now, I mean, how often do these actually move? Well, decently enough. I mean, somebody picked up light play at 20 and 20, so, and before that it was a little bit in between. You know, every other couple of days you do get some movements on this. Now, your Ghost Rare is another candidate for this. I remember back in my day, the Ghost Rare was very, very expensive for this card. And I still think it remains one of the more expensive cards to be floating around out here, but the truth of the matter here is, people, this card is still very, very strong. 52, 55, you head on up to 62. Eventually you break that $75 mark out there. Now, you are, to say that you have a near mint one of these is kind of crazy, because remember, this product was very notorious for those print lines, and it was just such a pain in the butt to deal with. So that's actually interesting. We also do get to see Armades. I talked about this because when you have a market price at $3 and you see this card exploding up to what should be non-existent numbers, I think I'm more interested in that than most things, which, okay, I mean, still $17. You're paying for the ability to combine two monsters together to go full Fiendsmith combo. And I guess the question is, you know, do you want your full Fiendsmith combo piece to look nice? You're looking at $20. I mean, your sales data on this, 10, 11, 13s. Not a lot in between there. Your PGL, or actually you have the other reprint for 13, and even your PGL versions, these are $8 to $10, which is a crazy concept to think about here, that these are in the state that they are. So, you know, I'm just impressed. I really, really am, because this is such a crazy concept to be seeing, that, you know, a bridge point is actually that strong. Titaniklads. The fact that these are $22 on up to $27. We really got messed up with this, man. This is one of those cards that we look at and we're like, hey, you know, it is a very nice bridge point, but at the same time, it's like, oh, hey, I can come down here and get the Ultra for 50 frickin' cents. And as you can see, I mean, there are 383 copies of these. They're undercutting each other by a penny. So do with that info what you will. It's $26 versus 50 cents on the bling department for what I can actually have looking nice in my deck. And then there is this train wreck. So I still am a little bit confused as to what's going on with this. I guess it's somebody still thinks we're going to get something Gaia related at some point. Now, realistically, I mean, we could get something Gaia related, but like, even so, I don't know. These are $49 a copy, and you've not had a sale all the way back since, you know, September. So this is already just a scenario of, this is a very, very, very shortened card in terms of the numbers here that we're working with. And you know, that's kind of interesting. There's also the Spiral Spear Strike Ultimate Rare. I don't know how many of you guys remember this thing. Now, these have massively repopulated. Now, let's take this to near mint, and then let's ramp this up to first eds. This is solidly a $46 card for what you're really looking at here. And I mean, all it is you just get to draw 2 and discard 1. So even like the oddball Gaia stuff still has some value. Dragunity Knight, Bread Hair. Oh my gosh, this is really, really something. Our listings for this still, I mean, you've ramped up a little bit and then spun back down, but this is the definition of a penny stonk. You know, people are going to look at this and they're going to go, hey, you know, this is definitely an option, and it's looking pretty nice, I will say. So definitely 6 to 70 cents, looking very, very strong. And then, of course, we've been tracking Remus. Remus is already broken up to the $9 mark, heading on up to 10. This is one of those situations that, you know, you look at and you got to give it to the Dragunity bros, right? Like, they've been wanting to have an actual good deck for a while. So I think Remus's famous trek up is definitely good. Now, we've also got Red Rose Dragon. I can't believe that this stupid low rarity version has actually hit these crazy marks. I think I'm more impressed with this over time, but good job to seeing Red Rose Dragon actually finally get its breakout here. Now, obviously, you know, you have other versions of this. You know, you don't have to get the rare, but the problem is the Ultra, $7. Our other rare, I mean, $1.70. And then the Starlight is like $1.50, $2. So, you know, interesting. And then we have the Red Lotus King. I've been keeping an eye on this. These are 31s on up to 33s. And then still, like, you're hitting $27 a piece. The fact that you're basically seeing a synergizing moment of the two of these high rarities, you know, coming together is freaking crazy to me, man. I think I'm more impressed that, you know, we're seeing the market reacting in this way. So I don't know. It is a time, that is for sure. So what do you guys think about everything happening in today's market? I fully look forward to seeing some other craziness happening here. But please, you know, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. It's a market to be had, and, you know, there's always going to be money to be made out there. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.